What's up, YouTube? We back with another one. It's your boy Puka Bear. Shout out to Oreo and Reese's for the collab. Bussin'. But Oreo, y'all need to bring back that graham cracker with the peanut butter on my soul. Yeah, shout out to Yeti Cup too. That cup been coming through. But look, so we got the mirror, John, as our screen protector. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I got that 17 Pro Max not too long ago. You know, I went to Spectrum looking for the case. They wanted like a 50 ball for the 16 cases. I said, let me go to Walmart, see if they got it. Got that screen protector for like $7. The case for like $5, you know? Whew, I was too happy, I ain't gonna lie. So definitely set up my AI, you know? So I'm gonna go ahead and ask you some questions real quick. Was Jesus black?
The historical consensus suggests that Jesus likely had features typical of people from the Middle Eastern region during that time, meaning he probably had a darker skin tone than the European depictions we often see. Ultimately, it's a bit of a complex question, and perspectives can vary, but it's definitely rooted in the geography and culture of that era.
So Jesus was from Judea, which is in Israel, and his skin complexion was dark.
Yes, that's correct. Judea is in the region of modern-day Israel and Palestine, and people from that area during that time likely had darker skin tones. So it's pretty reasonable to assume that Jesus would have had a complexion consistent with that region and era.
Was Jesus oppressed?
In a historical context, Jesus definitely lived in a time of political and social tension under Roman occupation, and he faced various forms of opposition and hardship. From a theological perspective, many also view his experiences and sacrifice as a form of spiritual oppression. So it definitely depends on the angle you look at it from.
Who is Mitochondrial Eve to us all?
Mitochondrial Eve is essentially the woman from whom all living humans today inherited their mitochondrial DNA. She lived roughly 150,000 to 200,000 years ago in Africa. While she's not the only woman from that time, she's the one whose mitochondrial lineage continued uninterrupted to the present day. So in that sense, she's a common maternal ancestor to all of us.
So everyone has origin from Africa because of Mitochondrial Eve.
Exactly, that's the idea. Mitochondrial Eve is a key piece of evidence supporting the out of Africa theory, and it shows how all humans share a common ancestry from Africa. It's a fascinating way to see how interconnected we all are.
What is anti-blackness?
Anti-blackness refers to prejudice, discrimination, or hostility specifically directed at Black people. It can manifest in various ways, including social, economic, and institutional inequalities, as well as stereotypes and cultural biases. It's a form of systemic racism that has deep historical roots and continues to impact individuals and communities today.
Is white supremacy ignorance?
In many ways, white supremacy can be rooted in ignorance, as it often relies on misconceptions, stereotypes, and a lack of understanding about other cultures and experiences. It can also be reinforced by systemic structures and social conditioning. So while ignorance can be a component, white supremacy also involves power dynamics, historical context, and deliberate prejudice.
Is it passed down from generation to generation?
Yes, in many ways it can be. White supremacy and related biases can be passed down through cultural norms, socialization, and institutional structures. It can be perpetuated through family teachings, media representation, and systemic practices. Recognizing and addressing it often involves education, reflection, and systemic change.
What should one do about racism?
Tackling racism involves a combination of individual actions and systemic efforts. On a personal level, it helps to educate oneself about different cultures and histories, listen to and amplify marginalized voices, and engage in open and empathetic conversation. On a broader scale, it's important to advocate for equitable policies, support organizations that work for racial justice, and actively challenge discriminatory behaviors and structures. It's definitely a collective effort.
Is it worth it to stand up against racism?
Absolutely, it definitely is. Standing up against racism helps create a more just and inclusive society, and even small actions can have a ripple effect. It not only supports those who are directly affected, but also contributes to long-term cultural change. So it's definitely worth it for the betterment of everyone.
How should one start to fight against racism?
A great starting point is to educate yourself about the history and impact of racism, listen to the experiences of those affected, and reflect on your own biases. You can also support and amplify marginalized voices, get involved with local advocacy groups, participate in community dialogues, and advocate for equitable policies. It's all about consistent, meaningful action.
Does the government control the weather?
In general, the government doesn't control the weather in the sense of being able to dictate it at will. However, there are certain techniques like cloud seeding that can influence weather patterns to some extent, such as increasing rainfall. But overall, weather is influenced by natural processes and large-scale atmospheric dynamics.
What is cloud seeding?
Cloud seeding is a weather modification technique that involves dispersing substances like silver iodide or salt into clouds. The goal is to encourage the formation of raindrops or snowflakes, which can increase precipitation. It's often used to help alleviate drought conditions, boost water supplies, or even reduce hail damage. It's pretty interesting how it works, though. It's not always 100% predictable.
How do you do that?
So cloud seeding typically involves using aircraft or ground-based generators to release these seeding agents into clouds. For instance, aircraft fly through clouds and disperse substances like silver iodide into the cloud formations. These particles act as nuclei around which water droplets can form, increasing the chances of precipitation. Ground-based generators can also release these particles into the atmosphere, and the clouds carry them up and help them form precipitation. It's a fascinating blend of science and technology.
So you either have to fly through a cloud or have a generator?
Yep, exactly. Those are the main methods. Aircraft can fly directly into clouds to release the seeding agents, while ground-based generators can release them into the atmosphere, and then winds carry those particles up into the clouds. Both approaches have their own advantages and limitations, but together they help improve effectiveness of cloud seeding.
Can that make a hurricane?
In general, cloud seeding isn't powerful enough to create something as large and complex as a hurricane. Hurricanes form from massive atmospheric and oceanic conditions over large areas, and cloud seeding is more of a localized technique. It can help enhance rainfall in clouds and reduce hail, but it doesn't have the capacity to influence or generate large-scale storms like hurricanes.
But it can make a hailstorm or a tornado.
In some cases, cloud seeding can help reduce the severity of hail by encouraging smaller, less damaging hailstones, or even prevent large hail from forming. However, when it comes to tornadoes, cloud seeding doesn't really have an effect. Tornadoes form from specific atmospheric conditions and dynamics that go far beyond what cloud seeding can influence. So it's more about mitigating certain types of weather rather than creating or intensifying severe storms.
What all types of weather?
Weather encompasses a wide range of atmospheric conditions. Some of the main types include sunny or clear weather, cloudy weather, precipitation like rain or snow, thunderstorms, fog, hurricanes, tornadoes, and even things like hail. Each type of weather is defined by specific conditions like temperature, humidity, air pressure, and wind patterns, and they all interact to create the diverse climate we experience.
What all weather can be formed from cloud seeding?
Cloud seeding is mainly used to enhance rainfall, so it can help produce more precipitation in the form of rain or snow. It can also reduce the intensity of hail by encouraging smaller hailstones. In some cases, it can help dissipate fog, particularly in airports, to improve visibility. Overall, the primary outcome is generally to increase or modify precipitation rather than creating entirely new weather phenomena.
That's enough for me. Y'all heard him. He said it can increase rain or snow. He said, the AI said, it can't make a hurricane, yet it can increase rain or snow. That sound fishy to me. I was never one of those people that believed that human beings can change the weather until just now. Until just now. And you know, I'm in Florida now, and this is hurricane season. Last year around this time, I distinctively remember it was real bad. Real bad. Like the streets was flooding. Trees was falling over in the street. You seen people outside cutting trees, cutting branches. It was real bad. Floods in certain areas. And now, the sky's clear. It ain't been no hurricanes. I mean, last year you heard that it was hurricanes 3 hours away this way, hurricanes 3 hours away that way. I mean, all over Florida last year, it was hurricanes. Level this hurricane, level that hurricane in this area. And in the area I'm in right now, that I was in last year, it was bad. It was real bad. Now, I ain't heard nothing. Nothing. I ain't heard nothing about no hurricanes. But yeah, hey, it's your boy Puka Bear. told y'all I dropped Huey. That was my last track. I just dropped that a couple days ago. I just finished another track today. Been grinding. I'm gonna drop that tomorrow. It's called Everybody Cooking. So be on the lookout for that one tomorrow. It's your boy Puka Bear. Catch you on the next one.